Hey, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm fighting off some kind of allergy or cold. Um, and we had an update to our system, and, and my God, what a mess. Anyway, this weekend, these last 24 hours have been fucking insane within the United States and the Trump regime. Some good, some bad, some, oh my God. And so normally I would do a few videos on them. I've done a couple, but I just thought I'd get on live and talk about a couple things here. Um, so first of all, excuse me, like I said, it's been a rough day. First of all, um, I'm Will. You can find me here at RJ127 at TikTok. I'm on Substack at Binder38US Substack. I do have a paid subscription. Subscribe if you want to support my work. And then Binder38US at YouTube. You guys will see me around. Normally you'll see me on Mike the Rational Boomers podcast, which I did today. Well, I did yesterday. And it is up today. If you haven't seen it, check it out. We touched on a lot of things we're going to touch on now, but also the follow-ups are right now. Let's talk about the follow-up. So let's talk about the into everything. So, and if you're looking at this live, give me a heart, share it, let everyone else come up, and we're going to set the agenda today. Alrighty. So, first things first, I want to talk about good news. All right, a good thing. I was shocked that Viktor Orban went down. He didn't went down. He went down hard in Hungary. Now, J.D. Vance, who is literally the kiss of, basically mafia kiss, if you know what I mean, was there campaigning for him. He's Trump's buddy. Remember, Tucker Carlson went there to show the perfection of Hungary as a fascist state. All that. He was their darling. Hell, they had a CPAC in fucking Budapest. Do you remember? So he's been holding power for 16 years. He did it to, he was basically everything you see. And he went down finally in an election, and it wasn't even close. I was afraid that he was going to basically walk, be close, and he said, "I'm not taking his fate." No, it was too big to he couldn't do anything to it. It was a wipeout. Part of it because his government apparently was hiding a child sex ring. Oh. So now Hungary has a new government. I don't know what they're going to do for it, but everyone showed up. Over 70% of the Hungarians voted. Hungary has a very tough past. If you're a child of the Cold War, you remember in your history, especially in '55, when there was uprising and they had a democracy for a second, and then the Russians, the Soviets came in and crushed it, and they had years of rule as a Soviet satellite state. Later on now, they had a democracy to Orban came back, and who was part of that Soviet state, who helped democracy form and then turned on democracy so he can keep power. Power is power. It's simple as that, If you want an example of the power, always remember that scene from Game of Thrones, okay, where she shows Littlefinger what power is. Power is power, and that's what he dealt with. Now they got rid of him. Now they can rebuild their country. Hopefully they can do it. My only concern is that when you get a revolution, there's going to be some tough times. Can you get around the tough times? People have a bad habit is that when they come out of a bad situation, they, and they have to rebuild. There's some tough times, and they can't They can't handle it, and then they revert back to what they were, i.e., see what we did here in the United States. Okay, I mean, we got out of the first Trump regime through COVID, tried to rebuild. It was tough. Prices, we had issues with the economy, but it was building. But because we are weak, we went ahead and elected Trump again, and here we are. Who went balls out to destroy the economy with tariffs, and now here we are. Okay, which is good news right now. The other second piece of good news I want to start with, because I want to get everyone boosted up, is the Artemis 2 spacecraft. Now, as a child who watched the moon launches, watched man walk on the moon, it was so fantastic to watch those last 10 days of the launch, of mission control, of everything. It was beautiful. To listen to that, to hear that from what I remember as a kid, to watch young children really, really get into it. They loved it. I mean, there are videos of little kids watching the launch with space helmets. Okay. And the one thing you saw about that is the one thing that Republicans seem to rail against is teamwork, diversity, and working together to our goal. Okay. NASA, in that situation, worked together, and they had a woman flight director, a woman astronaut, and much to, if he was still alive, Charlie Kirk's chagrin, they had a black man piloting the spacecraft. But it was brilliant. It was a combination of the U.S., also NASA, and the service module was a European space module. All together. And the thing went perfectly because everyone was competent. Even coming through the most dangerous part of this, which is entering the atmosphere, 24,000 miles an hour at an angle, burning, the plasma burning around it. And remember, those of you who remember Columbia, it only takes one hole. And you saw what happened to Columbia. And when they came out of the loss of signal, they did the math. They were right on the middle. They did it. 640,000 miles flight, and they landed it on a frickin' dime or a splashdown. Everything worked. Why? Because competent people with a goal who believed in what they were doing were in charge. And that's why I think everyone took to it. That's why at that point, no one cared if you were left, right, different. You're an American. NASA belongs to America. See, that's the thing people forget. Why did a lot of comments, why is everyone excited about this? Because we went back to the moon. Okay, we went around the moon, but we still went back to the moon, and we didn't have to listen to about Elon Musk and fucking Jeff Bezos. This was America, Americans who did it, of a diverse. So it was great. And no, NASA, but you can go bye-bye, okay? Give me that shit. Good Lord. Some of you people, some of you Trump-la-fucks are sad. Really? Give me a break. Can't enjoy anything. All right? But I want to give you those bright spots. Which leads us to the not bright spots and a lot of stuff that's happened today. Okay, one, they had the negotiations in Iran for the war that Trump started. No, are you, Ethan? I don't care. I am not. So they there were 21 hours of negotiations with J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and Steve, what is his name? Witkoff. These three guys were negotiating. Not the Secretary of State, not anyone from the diplomatic corps. No, they had these three fools there. And it went exactly what you thought, 21 hours of nothing. And then instead of taking a break and say, hey, we're going to take a break, we'll come back, let's talk some more. Considering the really importance of getting the Strait open, selling this out, people dying in Lebanon, in Iran, across the entire Middle East, they walk away. That's one thing about J.D. Vance. He has no sense. He should have made a call right there and said, no, we're going to stay. We're going to talk. Let's see if we can negotiate to come with a middle. Because the problem is, Trump doesn't want a middle. He wants a win. And this thing with Iran is not a win. He thought it was going to be, bomb them to give us what they want, fine. What happened is that he became Israel's bitch and is doing everything they want. I mean, right now, what I'm hearing is that the Israeli defense minister is trying to push Trump and Pete Hegseth into dropping special operation forces behind in the mountains to get the uranium. That's impossible. It's thousands of pounds. How are you going to get it out? They want us to put ground troops. Why? Because it's a distraction for them and what they're doing in Lebanon. See, the original ceasefire was supposed to stop the bombing in Lebanon, but it wasn't. Also, if you're watching this, please give it a like. That'll push it out there some more. Share it. Also, there's gifts. If you want to give me a gift, that's great. Really appreciate it. Again, let's hype this up a little bit. But they're continuing in their genocide in Lebanon. That's what's going on. That's the important thing. Also, there should have been an election in Israel. There's another one coming up. But they keep putting it off. Okay? Because now it's all security reasons. Now it's going to be because of Lebanon. Benjamin Netanyahu has a trial that he's put off for 6 years for fraud. He's been convicted of it. And they ever get him off office, he is going to jail. No bail, straight to jail. And that's what he's doing. And Bibi Netanyahu and all of them played Trump because they made him feel you can make a mark on the Middle East. Yeah, he has. He's made a mark on the Middle East. He's made a mark on the world. This is what he's doing. And he, as you can see Trump talking about it, he doesn't know what to do. He's distracted. He is not there. Okay? There's something missing. Captain ain't on the bridge. Okay? I don't know who's running that. And it's getting crazier and crazier because who else has a negotiations to end a deadly war, something that impacts all of America, all of the world, and you go to a fucking UFC fight? Oh, and your Secretary of State's with you, who should be in Islamabad negotiating this treaty, or at least a ceasefire on paper. The original ceasefire was not on paper. The recent ceasefire was that I decided. That's why when Iran said, hey, why is Israel still bombing Lebanon? Israel goes, because we didn't agree to it. Yes, you did. Show us. Well, there's no paper to show them. So they don't want to give up. They want the Strait of Hormuz open. The United States said that, and they want the Iranians say no. Because the Iranians need some kind of leverage. Now, understand, under the Obama agreement, they didn't have a bomb. The Iranian was limited. They could only refine it to non-weapon grade uranium. Okay? The Strait of Hormuz was open, and they had international observers watching Iran. The deal was working. The spice must flow. But Trump, who hates Obama because everyone goes, ooh, I remember when he was president, and he's better looking than he is, and smarter, blah, 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 ripped it up for what? He got nothing, and now he started a war, and he keeps saying they're trying to make a bomb. They're not trying to make a bomb. They didn't have a bomb, and American intelligence has already said that. Yes, American intelligence is saying that. Okay? But that's the story, and he's sticking to it. Okay, which brings us to the next thing. 60 Minutes had a bit on the Pope and cardinals in the United States, talking about Pope Leo. Pope Leo is from Chicago. Amazing person from what I see in his background. He is something. And apparently he has, he believes in being the Pope. And I mean that in the sense that he does what popes are supposed to do. Preach the word of God, preach Jesus, the gospel, as he said, which includes, love your neighbor, peace, make sure the hungry are fed, make sure, all the things that Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount, and to help people come closer to Christ and come closer to God. Okay? Now, I'm not saying the Catholic Church is perfect. God almighty, no. Okay, and I'm not a Catholic. I was a Catholic. Let me rephrase that. I'm an ex-Catholic. I did go to Catholic church. Okay? Catholic school. I did get my first communion. Later on, my mom, was the religious one in life, moved us around. And in the end, for a while, we're Methodists. Now, we don't have a church because we don't need one. My mom always said, if one or two are gathered in his name, he is among us. Excuse me. Sorry, like I said, cold. And that's what I stick to. But I also stick to the loving God. Not the vengeful God, not the evangelicals cult God. God. Jesus. The Holy Trinity. Okay? So, Pope Leo has not been down with the war. Pope Leo has been basically sounding off on it, saying that it's wrong. There should not be the murder. There should be that. We should be peace. And Trump don't like it. Now, someone made a good comment. This is a distraction because a lot of shit happened, including with Melania Trump bringing the Epstein files back in. Again, quick reminder, you've seen this live, like it, share it so we can get some more people in here. I want to see what we can do today as I discuss these important topics for the United States and us. Keeps us kind of going. You'll see that in the podcast I did with Mike. We talk about a lot of that stuff. But that being said, okay. So Trump, on that night, after the 60 Minutes, was talking about Leo, talking about his popularity, talking about who he is, all that, and what the Pope has said from the pulpit, from the Holy See, Trump went after him with probably the most bizarre fucking Truth Social I can ever seen, which is saying a lot. Why on God's great earth here are you talking about him as soft on crime? Or talking about soft on political or on foreign policy? Okay? Now you have to understand, background on this, back in October of last year, this came out later when some of the notes came out, that the Undersecretary of Defense called in, which is the equivalent of the ambassador from the Vatican of the United States, called him in to call the ambassador in to read him the Riot Act. Now, they didn't like what Pope Leo was saying about Trump because he was talking about immigration and stuff. Okay? And they already have, Bo. They already have. He says that in there. Woke. He's already said that in his thing. But they called him in and saying, look, we have the greatest military in the world. This is what he told the Pope, the ambassador. So we're informing you right now, you guys better get in line. All right? We need to get in line, or something bad could happen to the Pope. The French did it back in 14th century. Okay? So you better get in line. Now, understand, Pope Leo is from Chicago. And those of you who are in here who live in the Midwest and live around Chicago know that shit ain't gonna fly. Okay? And the thing about it is, it's ridiculous, and that was the base. And Pope Leo has been talking about immigration. He's talking about what it is to be, a Catholic, a Christian. Again, he's trying to reform the church to an extent. It's had problems. I mean, let's face it, we've had conservative bishops in the United States who really try to ruin the church, the Catholic Church. And you'll probably say, well, you're not Catholic. Why do you care? Well, it's kind of weird. It's still like in you. Like my wife is a Catholic, but she's not a Catholic, but it's still there. Hope you all understand what I'm saying here. And there's a base to it, okay? Do I agree with everything Catholics are? No. Do I need a priest to talk to God? No. Okay? Those things. Do I need to go to confession? No, I really don't. And because what a priest's going to say is not going to give me absolution. But that's what people believe. That's fine. There's 1 billion Catholics on this planet. Okay? And Pope Leo is in charge of them and their salvation. And, from there. And Trump on Sunday went after him. Why? Because he was mean to him. I'm not going to he doesn't want a pope that doesn't agree with Trump. And the only reason, do you remember after the first pope, oh God, I forgot his name, died, after J.D. Vance visited him? People still remind me, every time Vance shows up, something bad happens. And Pope Leo was about to be elected. Trump put out a picture of him being pope. He even talked about, yeah, they can elect me. You see, people go, well, he's just joking. No, he ain't joking. Remember, he has an office full of evangelicals, especially that crazy lady, the one that sees angels, who at a meeting called him, said that Trump's life is similar to Jesus' life. The blasphemy just keeps going. So him putting that up there is not fake. This is what they want. Okay? This is what they believe. Again, if you like this live, please hit the hearts. Again, share it. Any gifts. But they believe this. So Trump writes this entire diatribe, just this weird-ass diatribe on Pope Leo. Basically saying, he's mean to me. That's what bottom line it. Okay, that's how Trump thinks. He's not doing what I let me do what I want. He's not agreeing with me. That's mean. See my point? So after he does, he puts out a meme, an AI meme or picture of him dressed in a robe with power come off his hands, healing someone, and he looked like Jesus. He looked like Jesus. He looked like the Christ. Okay? But behind it were like scenes of war and the American flag. It was bizarre. And it was blasphemy to the next degree. I mean, no graven images. Just put in your first 3 or 4 Ten Commandments. Okay? It was bad. It was ridiculous. Where did you see this? Everywhere, Corey John. Everywhere. He put that on Truth Social and just went off. What are you talking about? Okay? And it was blasphemous. Okay, I'm looking at him going, are you kidding me? Wow. And then it really, but here's the thing, totally miscalculated. This is where the bad thing about it is we have a government that has fascist tendencies. People can compare them to the German government and how that all went. But hey, they were competent. They're incompetent. And Trump has been basically little by little losing his base. With higher prices, inflation's up by 3.3%. Consumer price index is up by 0.9%. Gas right now is pushing $4, $5, $6. Counts where you're at. In Georgia, we're at $3.50 a gallon. The guy in the bed looked like Jeffrey Epstein. That was bizarre. And he's been alienating his base because he really does not give a shit about his base. Okay? They don't. He doesn't. Okay? He knows you'll come back to him. He knows he has that solid 30-something%. He knows they'll defend anything he does. And let's be honest, Trump, with the way his certain mind is going, he kind of being told by all these people around him, I must be holy. I must be the second coming of something. And everyone who saw that And I'm not talking about liberals or far lefters or anything. I'm talking anyone with any kind of religious oomph said, oh my Lord, he's the Antichrist. And if you don't think that's right, and I'm not a fan of Revelations, I think Revelations was thrown in, King James, some kind of weird thing to whip up apocalypse stuff. That's me. But if you look at it, everything Trump says is kind of following Revelations. We've had plagues. We have economic downturns. People who are part of it wear the mark of the beast. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not, again, I'm not going crazy. Everyone's not going. This is just, it's too much. Okay? It's too much. That's the thing. You can only do so much when you think no one can touch you. It's too much. And it's even driving away his influence in people because their religion is all they got. Even evangelicals don't like this. So they finally took it down. He didn't take it down. The staff took it down. So what happens today? Trump stages a DoorDash delivery to the White House from McDonald's from a grandmother, an older woman from Arkansas with DoorDash. Someone got paid to do that. It was all a stunt. Why? I don't know, because I guess he was trying to do tax on tips. And so she's there, and there's a picture, and you'll see this picture. They're trying to bring it on the end of the world. Yeah, they have. Mike Johnson and the others, this is a curious one, said others is out loud, they're trying to bring on the end times. Here's the thing, what they're going to bring on, their end times. Because the one thing you should remember with Orban, if we all show up to vote, we're going to make it too big to rig. If we crush them across the country, like they did in Hungary, you can't say it was rigged. We have to keep doing it. We have to be prepared. We have to take all that no king's energy and turn it into people showing up at the polls no matter what. Voting early. Well, they kind of restricted the voting by mail. Great, then send it in earlier. Walk it into that. It was a stunt. And as Jane Molly said, she's from Arkansas. Now, here's where it gets really sad. In that picture of her delivering the goods, there's the open door to the Oval Office. And in there, you see all that gold in there. It's tacky, and it's our money he spent. Do you know why that woman is working DoorDash when she should be home enjoying her grandkids or enjoying her husband in retirement? Because she has to pay for cancer treatment. And DoorDash helps pay the bills. I'm pretty sure it doesn't pay the bills, because trust me, I know how much that cost. If you don't have insurance, you're fucked. Totally fucked. All right? My wife and I had our taxes done today. At least 2 people were complaining about the cost of their insurance. One young lady was trying to figure out how to pay her taxes and all that and pay her bill because she didn't have the money, because when she didn't know that her health insurance that went through, the Affordable Care Act went up by $400, and they took her money and she's screwed. Okay? And then while we were doing our taxes and the lady was working, the lady behind her, she needed to get her 1035, whatever it is, you had to prove insurance, and she was calling the insurance company, and they were giving her shit. We heard them, okay? And she said, I don't know. I mean, they go, where'd you get it? On the marketplace. And it cost me more money. You see, for all the bullshit they try to feed us, I sat there and listened to the real world out there. People struggling. People struggling to get insurance. People struggling to feed themselves. That poor young lady, she's trying to balance rent, food, the insurance, all that. God forbid you get sick. Get sick. And it shouldn't be that. Why is grandmother having to work DoorDash? I hope DoorDash gave her some money for doing that stunt with Trump. Probably not. Knowing them, they probably stiffed her. But she deserves something for standing there. And then Trump was asking her about trans athletes. Like she gives a fuck. Her husband has cancer. She has to pay for that. Trust me, those bills weigh on you, even if you have insurance. Okay? And that's the stunt. But it gets even better. Because you got reporters out there, and I'm noticing one thing. Excuse me again. Sorry, guys. Apologize. Reporters are getting bolder now. They're still tentative, but they're getting bolder. Someone asked him about the picture, the Jesus picture. And Trump said, I have no idea why they think I was making myself as Jesus. It was a picture that I put up. Remember, he said this. He said, I put it up because it looked like, because that shows that I'm a Red Cross doctor helping people. And she turns to LA like helping you with no tips on taxes. So you can pay for your husband's cancer treatments. Why does she have to pay for her husband's cancer treatments? Why? Why? Just the weight of it. Why? Okay? He thought that was a good thing. But he said that picture was actually him being a doctor. Okay, so all doctors I've seen wear robes and have glowing stuff in their hands. And I'm not feeling well, and sometimes your mind gets a little tacky. And I'm a big fan of The Pit. And I'm thinking, what? It's like someone dressed up like Jesus like that walked into the emergency room in The Pit, in a Pit episode, and tried to heal people. I can imagine what Nurse Dana would say. All right? I mean, that's how crazy it is. And then they talk to a couple of Republicans, and they just go, eh. Well, Tom Tillis was like, yeah, it's bad. It's sacrilegious. What do you think? They didn't blame Trump. I mean, they don't do anything. They let him get away with it. So, oh shit. So we have that. So where does that leave us now? So, Crazy Man is still doing his thing. He's still saying that they're still talking to Iran about a deal. He's blockading Iranian ports, although I think he's tacoing on that, which is stupid because you're blockading Iranian ports open to Strait of Hormuz that they're already blockading. I can't even address that. That is insane. That's insane. Tell me it's not insane. It's insane. And people buy it. And it works for them. But we know that cognitively, this man's gone. Okay? He's back and forth with everything. The only thing he cares about is his ballroom and the stupid arch he's going to put in front of Arlington fucking Cemetery. Arlington Cemetery. Sacred ground. Okay? Why? Because they don't give a shit about troops. They're just toys to him. It's just, like I told one vet guy who did a video about it, upset about it, I said, Trump sees Arlington Cemetery as open real estate. If it was him, he would build on top of it. I mean, you know it's right. So, I mean, let's put it, he's had a bad weekend. Okay, and it's going to get worse down the week. Congress is back in session. Those of you who care, raise your hand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, but here where it's gotten more interesting recently. Eric Swalwell. We have to address Eric Swalwell. We've got to address the elephant in the room. Congressman running for governor of California. Well, he has a whole bunch of mess. The San Francisco Chronicle and CNN basically did an investigation of him, and he's been abusing his staff and his women. He's been asking women for their phone numbers and sending them unwanted sexual pictures. Apparently, there's accusations of assault. And when I first heard that, I remember what happened with Joe Biden. That turned out to be bullshit. That woman now ran, who made the accusation years ago, is now in Russia. Sound familiar? Excuse me. But these guys, these ones are very credible. There's more of them. There's quite a bit. And I was waiting to see if this was a plant until I heard his campaign manager walked away. And his campaign staff started to walk out. They would not do that if they did not think there was something there. Okay? There was something there. So it all turned on him. And now Eric Swalwell not only was going to get investigated, he decided to resign from Congress today. And there's Trucker. Hey, Trucker, how you doing, bro?
Hey, what do you say, Will?
Not much. Just got a few minutes here trying to fight off a cold. I don't know if it's a cold or the pollen here in Georgia.
Got it.
Which is, so, but we're discussing a lot of things. And one of them was, we're talking about Eric Swalwell resigning today. And apparently, the other guy who's worse, Tony Gonzalez, that other guy, who apparently has made someone commit suicide, is going to be, is resigning too. I guess they got rid of them both.
Yeah, did you hear what Gonzalez said? He said
no, I didn't. Go ahead.
Well, I can't repeat it on TikTok, but he said that he should be strung up on a tree, for lack of a better word.
He said that for himself?
He said that Swalwell. Well, let me rephrase that. He said that abusers should be, but he was saying that in the pretext of Swalwell. And he made clear that he says, I'm not threatening a U.S. congressman, but what I'm saying is we should do that to all of them.
What's the old saying, pot calling the kettle black?
Right.
Whatever. He's resigning, apparently. And so they're cleaning the house there. Mike Johnson had been running. They knew about this guy for a while. Mike Johnson's been running interference for him for a while.
Yeah, for a while, I thought, right?
For a while, yeah. And so if there's any good thing about the Eric Swalwell thing is that it took Gonzalez with him, because enough people in the House would just had it, and it was an opportunity, because they could not get rid of Swalwell and not get rid of Gonzalez. It would not have worked.
Right.
It would have blown up in their face, as everything else. So the California governor's race will be the California governor's race. I don't care about Swalwell. He was who he was. I mean, he's going to pay the price for men in power. If that's the thing, it's about power, and they always use their power to make themselves feel more powerful. Hence, I think that's one of the things that drive the Epstein thing and people like him, because it's never enough, if that makes sense. All right, they got to have that little extra oomph, even at the expense of someone else. It's kind of sad in the end. So, yeah, it's sad. But it's been a crazy week. We're talking about, I started us out about the Jesus Gate. I guess I can say that. But the other thing I want to bring up, you're in Indiana, right?
Yep.
Okay, someone was saying that you have seen what happened in Ontario, California, correct?
As far as
the guy setting the Kimberly Clark warehouse on fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He set it on fire. Now it seems to be a spat of it.
Isn't it we're up to 9 or so now?
Yes, and so now here's the thing where it gets really weird. Not weird. The guy did it. No, he says livable wage. He was getting paid $21 an hour. People were going, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, if you live in Ontario, not even live in Ontario, California.
No, it's not. It's nothing.
Not. But someone in Indiana made a comment that the Indiana minimum wage is still $7.25.
Yes, it is.
In the state?
Yep.
And everyone just kind of get a hold of yourself. Do you know how much ground beef costs you now?
Yeah. Well, and they're arguing that that's too much, that they want to revisit it. That's insane.
Again, old Republicans, right?
Yeah. Old establishment
And I
Republicans
mean,
saying,
yeah,
that
and they don't. They live in a
$7.25 an
world.
hour is too much. Come on, bro.
I mean, it's just, it's just crazy, and I think part of it doesn't include insurance and all that,
No,
and
and
it's just good.
it's definitely not keeping up with the COL, right? The cost of living, uh,
No,
because it's expensive now. I can tell you that 7.25 is
yeah,
not going to get it.
no 725 is that's just ridiculous money, okay, and it's just and they'll say that well they're just entry jobs. Who cares?
Who would
Well, they're going
not
to raise
laugh
the
right
cost
in
of
their
it.
face? Well, how many people you know that would not laugh right in their face when they say, "Hey, this position pays $7.25 an hour"?
Everybody now. I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, you can pimp yourself here on TikTok or Facebook. I mean, quick for less money, for more money. I mean, that's honest. And that's the thing. We have a generation of guys still in charge who think that, soda's a dime,
right.
eggs are a buck. They don't relate. And also, I've been seeing videos of Amazon warehouses, people walking out, the abuses on it. People don't get it. This is why we have unions. We had unions because of the abuses by companies for years. We had violent labor relations because of companies, and it's starting to boil over. And that's the thing. It's getting to the
Well,
people. I've said they got nothing to lose.
I'm going
Nothing
to
to
tell you
lose.
something right now that's going to piss you off.
Go ahead.
So I was getting ready this morning, and I stumbled across a video of a CEO of a major company, and he was saying that he thinks that the unemployment rate should be 50%, right? So they can maximize the amount of pain that to inflict on American people, because the
Mm-hmm.
American people think that the employers owe them something. And they're saying it should be the
Exactly.
other way around. So he says, let them be out of work for a while and inflict pain on them. And I'm like, you son of a, you know what?
That guy. Yeah, I've seen it. He's an I've seen that. He's an Australian billionaire.
Oh, is that who
And
he
he said
was?
that, and yeah, he's an Australian billionaire. He said that about a year ago. Here's where it gets good. He had to backtrack because the shit he got on it. But let's kind of put that in perspective, though. Sam Altman, who owns one of the biggest AI companies, said
Hmm.
something similar too. Said that AI is going to replace workers, but don't worry, they'll find something else. Someone tossed a Molotov cocktail in his house. Now Sam Altman is going, people kind of need like a universal life benefit. In other words, universal base living and
Yeah.
universal health care and 32 hours a week. He's thinking, you know what? If they're going to pitchfork and torch, they ain't coming for me. I'm on your
Well,
side.
they put a pew pew in his house, not too, the
Now, it's
last
one
day
of
or
your
two.
guys in Indiana, wasn't it?
What, Sam Altman?
When you're No, Sam, I thought they threw a Molotov in the house
They did.
too.
They
They
did.
should have.
And they pew
Yeah.
also.
And then in your neck of the woods, they were doing a city council was getting hammered about not doing an AI,
Yep.
and they voted for it anyway. And I heard that one of the councilmen, um, his house got a bad case of lead poisoning.
Yeah, they fired it up
Um,
right through the front door.
and so it's like it's not a big movement, but little things. All it takes is on a landslide, rocks starting to fall, little rocks, little
Hmm.
rocks, little rocks, and then the big rocks start to fall. Because what you're getting is people not two things. One, they know they're not listening to them, so we got to make them listen to us. Two, people who don't have anything to lose, fuck it.
Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
that guy that burned, yeah, the guy that burned the warehouse down and they arrested him, they're looking to give him life. They want to string for life for a terrorist charge. Okay, first of all, I don't see how domestic terrorism, burning a warehouse full of fucking toilet paper, counts as domestic terrorism. Okay? Two, get any jury to do that. I want to be his defense attorney.
Right.
Oh, I want to be his defense attorney. There's no jury is going to convict him. And as one person said, he'll get, if they do it, they'll get more time than most murderers get.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to send a message, right, to make it stop. But that dude, I don't think he gives a shit, to be honest.
And I don't think it's going to stop, T. I mean, it's not. I mean, I think we're reaching, and that's the thing with the Republicans and a lot of people out there, even Democrats, they don't see what people are dealing with. They don't care what people are dealing with.
Well, I
And that's
equate
part of the
this.
problem.
Yep, I equate this to the Boston Tea Party. Right. This is our Boston Tea Party moment. Is what
Yeah.
it's turning out to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is and like today, before I had to quit work because my head was killing me, we got a brand new like sales dynamic thing, AI, and they used to in my company when we came up with a new system, we would spend a day or so going over it, training to make sure we're okay. They just said, give us 3 hours, we're going to put it in the system, go. I have to come up tomorrow and go in the system, and hopefully it works. See, that's what that's how they're working, but it's mostly AI. It's doing a lot of the stuff that I do, and they want to replace everyone. The only problem with AI, it doesn't have the subtleties you need, and that's why they still have people there. If they can replace us, they will. But when you do that,
Salesforce is struggling
go ahead.
though. Came out and said, "Hey, we made a mistake because this AI isn't working the way we thought it would." And they, and they let all those people go, and now they're panicking because it's not working.
Guess what? That's what we're replacing. Salesforce.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're replacing. It's just, yeah. And the point is that here in Georgia, in Collier County, they're going to use 800 acres of prime wilderness land that has been set aside for conservation. They're going to build an AI center there, data center.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in like the lady who was talking about it on the video. It's like it's done by a council, a county commission council, where 3D old guys won't be alive when it's built, and they don't give a shit because I know money's changed hands.
Exactly.
A lot of money changed hands for that shit. Well, and a lot of the AI projects I've heard are died of the vine. So it's something that has its uses. It's a fucking tool, but it's not a replacement. Okay, and I don't know. And this is another thing that's weighing on people's minds. You cannot tell people that they're worthless.
Well, AI should be used as an aid, right? Not the actual job thing. It's an aid, something to help me do my job a little bit faster.
Right. It's like, do you remember like in the early days of digital films and like CGI? The early CGI days, they went crazy on it and all that. But all of a sudden, everyone went, that's too much and it's not looking good. And now they're using more practical effects with CGI. Mm-hmm. There's more practical stuff. And the reason I use an example is that it's the same thing. These guys think will replace everything. It's not. What you're going to end up with is a hybrid as a tool, not as a replacement. And you still have to do practical stuff to make it work for you. Like the movie Hail Mary, the new one, the majority is practical with some with CGI in the back, puppets and all that. So they've got
an AI machine now. I saw this on TV the other day. That they said this thing is so powerful that they are afraid to put it out. They said that you could put it on a platform and turn off the internet, and it will still find a way to get on. So what they're doing is they're only giving it to the big three for now. I think it was Walmart, Amazon, and one other big company, Apple, for them to look at the software and see how they could figure out a way to keep it from getting into their systems before they release it out to the public.
God, I think I've seen that movie. Good God. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's insane. It doesn't, and that's the thing. They don't see that people don't want this shit. What they want is a job. They want security. They want health care. They want to feel safe. These are the basic things that people always want. And the problem is you got a lot of these so-called billionaires thinking that their idea of this artificial world is going to work. It's not. And people are fighting against it. And it's going to get ugly because right now the man in charge has lost his goddamn mind.
I just saw today that UPS, I think it was a small town in Tennessee, that employs 65 or so people. They're getting ready to shut it down because they're wanting to streamline their operation. But if you think about a small town and 65 people that work there, it's going to affect more than 65 people. It's going to affect the grocery stores, the restaurants, the gas stations, people that are coming in and out for UPS. It's just bad all the way around.
Yeah, and no one's doing it, and our government doesn't care. And I was talking about earlier before you came on, about that stunt that Trump pulled with that lady, that grandmother from Arkansas, with DoorDash bringing, and I'm like going, the picture is pretty bad where you're showing this poor lady doing DoorDash because she has to pay for her husband's cancer treatments.
Right.
And the door's open and Trump's standing there in front of his gold-laden office that we paid for, talking how great it is that she has to work DoorDash so she gets no tips, no tax on tips to pay for her husband's cancer treatment. What?
But if she's making 22 grand, she's not affected by it anyway, right? Her taxes are minimal if she's paying $22,000 a year, if she pays any.
And everyone knows it's stupid. But and again, it's what... Go ahead.
Well, what a lot of them don't remember about that bill is the taxes on tips. That's only if it's cash, right? If it goes through a credit card, I think they can tax
I believe so.
And then when you do your DoorDash order, everything is on the app. I don't see anybody separating.
No, there isn't. You can't hand the driver cash. It won't take cash.
Right.
Can't.
So she's not benefiting from that.
But I hope she got something because they flew her ass in from Arkansas to do this stupid stunt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she's from Arkansas. They flew her in Arkansas. You cannot make a DoorDash. You can't make a delivery to the White House. Doesn't work.
I don't think so.
Okay, you can't. Okay, this was all planned to show Trump, I don't know, this thing and people.
Fuck that.
And the worst thing about it was that other than that, he asked her about trans athletes. She goes, I don't know, I don't care. Of course she doesn't care. She's got a husband with cancer that she can't pay for, that she has to hump other people's food to pay for his cancer treatments. From personal experience, I know that's expensive, even with insurance. Can
you imagine the amount of attention she's going to get, negative or positive? I would not want to be her.
I think positive because Trump looks so bad. Really bad. He looked horrible because as soon as people start going, oh, she's doing that to pay for her husband's cancer treatment, trust me, there's a GoFundMe somewhere already.
Yeah. Well,
to help
Coffee Man, the purpose of this stunt, what it sounds like, is he's losing, he's changing the narrative, and he wanted a real American from Arkansas, no less, grandma, and portray her as one of his wealthy recipients of the big, beautiful bill BS, and it backfired like it always does.
Yeah, and to make it worse, reporters, and I said before, reporters are a little more aggressive, asked him about his Jesus pick. I mean, I have not that blasphemy was beyond. It was ridiculous.
You think that's blasphemy?
And
going after the Pope directly?
Wow. Oh, that was just. And it's just like you go, are you kidding me? And what he said about the Pope, he's against crime. I'm like reading this thing, it's stupid. And then also, he became Pope because Trump was president. No. I mean, it was basically Trump upset because Pope Leo doesn't love him.
Right.
Pope Leo criticized him. Oh my God, I got to do something because I look weak in front of the Pope. You look weak anyway because the Pope goes, I'm not afraid of you.
No, and the Pope's got what, 1.9 billion followers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And when the Holy See says, "Hey, I'm not afraid of you," I was with a little bit of Chicago in his voice. You know he's not. Man's from Chicago.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. He don't care about Trump. Trump's never seen these streets like Pope Leo has.
No, that's the thing. He hasn't.
Tik Tok starting to suck said in the comments here, Will, he said it perfectly.
Right.
Red state granny who would benefit from universal health care. That's exactly right.
Exactly. I mean, I see this all the time. I mean, why are homeless people? Why are people hungry? Why can't people pay for their medical bills? Why do you have to not go to the doctor because you can't afford it? I was saying earlier to you, I had my taxes done today. Mm-hmm. And we're in the H&R office, and this young lady comes in. She's in about her mid-20s, early 30s. And she's telling him, look, I can't pay it now. Can I pay it at a different time? Because her health care she got through the marketplace went up $400, and they took her money, and she doesn't have it right now.
Damn.
All right. And then while we're sitting there getting our taxes, while the lady's working on our numbers, next to us, this one woman is fighting with her insurance company because they didn't send her a 1035, to prove that you have, or 1038, whatever they call it, prove that you have insurance so you don't get penalized.
Right.
They were fighting over, and they got the guy on the thing, and he's like giving her excuse. He goes, look, I got it through the marketplace, and you guys are already charging me too much. Just give me this form. And I'm going, that's reality. I was listening to reality of what they did to us with the ACA.
Do you think that,
all right, that young
they went in and messed that up on purpose?
Oh, yeah. Because they wanted to crush Obamacare.
Right.
That's all Trump. Because Trump has this plan that he's going to give everyone $14,000 and it's going to be okay for insurance. You can buy a year of insurance for $14,000. That's his plan.
That doesn't count if you get sick. Because, hell,
nope.
How much does it cost to have a baby? Just think, he wants babies, right? They want us to reappropriate. Well, you're not going to get a baby out of the hospital for $14,000. I'm sorry.
No, the point is that that's supposed to buy your insurance, but insurance doesn't work like that. It's $1,400, Coffee Man. Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
That's insane.
That's not even a premium for some people. They don't know how insurance works. All these assholes have insurance, or they have money to pay for themselves. They don't know how insurance works.
Why don't he call Claudia Scheinbaum and ask her? She could tell him.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Mexico is going to have universal health care next year.
Yep.
Mexico. And everyone's going, and again, the majority of Americans are thinking, Speedy Gonzalez and a sombrero. No, Mexico is going to have, they do. Tell me I'm not, they had a guy doing a video. He's in Mexico complaining that people are speaking Spanish to him.
In Mexico. Okay. I've heard it all.
Words for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I get it. He didn't look Mexican. Okay. If I go into Mexico or they're going to speak Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish to them, I'm going to feel bad. Okay. But I'll tell you one thing. With the weirdest experience I had years ago when we went to Hawaii, everyone thought I was Hawaiian. And people started to talk Hawaiian to me. Everyone thought I was bro. Hey, bro, what's up? How's it going, bro? They thought I was Hawaiian. It was all good. Like, yeah, hey, brother. We stopped. We were on our way to Hilo because we were on the Big Island in Kauai. And so we were on our way to Hilo to see it. Stopped at this little gas station, walked in, and these people were just nice. Hey, bro, what's up? What do you need? I'm like, yeah, just okay, cool. Hang loose. All right, cool. I mean, it was, and I didn't understand it, and like until when we're staying at the hotel they had a local putting green. We're going to play with the kids. At the time, the kids were younger then, and the lady goes, "Oh, are you local?" I go, "No, I'm from Los Angeles." "Oh, you look local." The white lady had to tell me why.
That you look local. I got it.
That I look local. And I'm like, okay, that explained everything. But that's the thing. Mexico is going to have universal health care, and we can't do it?
Yeah. And here's the kicker about that. They said that it starts in 2027, but I heard yesterday that it's going to start sooner than that for people who are 85 years old and older. And then they're going to just keep going down the line until, I think they said it's going to take 6 months to get all the hospitals to talk to each other. It's going to just be one place.
Dang. I mean, that could, and it's doable. And
We
people
can
want
do
it
it
now.
easily.
We can.
But we're all for profit, right? Who's going to pay for those yachts and all that other stuff?
I mean, and insurance companies have been selling the socialism. You know what? Fuck it. Do Medicare for all. If you want extras, buy an insurance policy on top.
Right.
That's your choice. Or if you're working, you get insurance on. You can get baseline, what do they call it? Base pay or baseline living, where you get a stipend so you can afford housing and all that. Where you don't have to work 3 jobs. You can work a job, or to choose not to work and do something else.
Right.
Society can work better like that. That just popped up again. And how much is that going to cost us? Well, I'll tell you one thing, a lot less than the fucking military budget they're proposing right now.
Well, they're just
crazy?
Printing money out of the sky at this point.
But they're going to cut WIC. It's just crazy because there's not enough money for WIC or SNAP or Medicare or Medicaid, but we sure can, spend billions of dollars a day for a fucking war we didn't want.
Yeah, they're going
That's
after the
the worst
farmers
thing
too.
about
They're
it
taking
is-
the farmers' money that they were going to give them. Aaron Parnas
how'd that
broke it
work
all
for you?
down. He had a list of everything that they were doing, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, and basically part of it to me is like they're using the war as an excuse to rip apart Johnson's war on poverty. And the reactions are all the same. Like, they're going to remove WIC. Well, then they need another job. They're a single mother. They're trying to hang in there. Well, that's fine. Well, I did it. They should. Fuck you. Enough of that. Your life is not someone else's life. Okay? Your life is not someone else's. The way you handle stuff, it's not somehow someone else is going to handle something. It's ridiculous in the end.
I saw a video today. Well, actually, it was a photo. It says European retirement, and then it said USA retirement. European was sitting there on the beach, retired, with his shirt off. USA had grandmothers with DoorDash backpacks on their back.
There you go. I mean, it's just, and the point is, like, when you get to talk about taxes, everyone goes, well, too much taxes. It's not that we pay too much taxes, that our tax money is not used for the right things. Ever. Yeah, and, for 40 years since the first Reagan administration, this trickle-down theory, we've been forced to suck up this bullshit that people are tired of now. And I think that's going to happen in November. The Hungary election, and I'll run this by you. Did that surprise you? Because that sure as hell surprised me that Orban went the way he went.
Well, I knew he was going to lose, right? Because if you look at American politics right now and how polarizing it is and how unpopular the Trump regime is, and then they send that over there. People around the world don't like this guy. And now that they are bringing his ideas and JD Vance over to Hungary, they're like, no, bro, get up out of here. They're dancing in the streets.
Yeah, they are. Because the election was so huge. They can't complain, and he resigned. He conceded, which I was surprised by. I thought he would hang on for dear life. Because remember, Hungary was the conservatives' dream, right? They had a CPAC in Hungary, in Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
Viktor Orban was invited here to the United States. But it just stopped working when people realized it's not for them.
No.
There's only so much hate you can give people, and that's part of the problem. It's all based on hate and the other. Also, they got busted for apparently certain members of the government were hiding a child sex ring. Sound familiar? And so it bodes well if everyone gets off their ass and votes. Period.
Well,
we have to get off our ass and vote in November. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear from the far left talking about all parties are the same. They're not. If we get a Democratic primary who's like an APAC or whatever, still vote for him because it's better than a Republican. We can deal with them later. That's the thing. If we do not step up, if we do not show that No King's protest means something, then we're dead. Everything will die easily. Because then they will have carte blanche.
We're going to show up and show out. That's just my opinion. And here's why.
I hope. Go ahead.
Because a lot of the ones, the kids who were behind this push, like my daughter and all those, they're of age now and they're voting. A lot of these older ones that were dug into their 1942 values, they're pretty much getting ready to be moved out of here and replaced with these younger millennials, and they're angry.
Yeah. I mean, they can't be happy what's going on. Right. And that's the thing. It's like, and all the numbers show that, but again, I hear that, but I remember 24 and I get PTSD for November 24.
Yeah, I still think something happened there, but.
Yeah, and that's what disturbs me. But again, then I see videos of like that one woman who's showing the destruction in Lebanon that Israel's doing, basically their genocide for Lebanon, blaming Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. That's their fault. Literally, the lady went on. Yeah, he blamed that because they didn't stop him before. I swear to Almighty God, these people are out of their minds. Oh, their damn minds.
Yeah, I can't.
And I watch that. I'm going, no, they're just. It's insane, and they don't want to. I don't know what they want. What do you want? Now I understand. Like one guy made a good comment that, about the Democrats not doing anything. People said, the Democrats could show up in Congress, protest, get rid of their leadership, stand in front of the steps, demand stuff, get rid of their leadership. I see what he's saying. I mean, I think we're going to have to do this in increments and push Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to a wall where they're going to have to, they're going to have to do something, whether they like it or not, or step aside. Because if they take the Senate, if Democrats take the Senate, I am pretty sure Chuck Schumer is not going to have a job.
Nope.
He is not going to have a job.
No, in Matrix, I saw that today where the IDF were pushing people off buildings. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the IDF? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just pushing off buildings. Not surprised. They're forcing people out of their homes in South Lebanon. They are shooting journalists. That's known. There's a verified report. They were looking for someone, and they couldn't get it for some locals as he didn't know, so they tortured his child in front of him.
Oh, that poor baby, I remember.
Yeah, the IDF, and I said it with Mike, they have become what their grandparents ran from and were abused by.
That's what they are.
and no
That's
one sees
exactly what they
it.
said on the news today, Will. But they said they
Become
are
it.
worse than them.
No, wow, that's sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's just. And here's the thing, and I was talking about earlier, Netanyahu. There's another election coming up. They're probably going to postpone because of the security alert still. But as soon as they can get an election, he's out. He's going to jail.
Yep, I agree.
He's convicted of crimes, and he's got to go. And that's why they are winding Trump up. The newest thing is that they're still trying to convince him to put boots on the ground to get the uranium that the Iranians have. And, basically special operations or put boots on the ground to escalate the war. So, because while that's going on, they can continue their genocide in Lebanon and take over the southern part of the country.
Wow.
Which no one's talking about. I mean, it's like I cannot emphasize enough that everything that's going on was created by Donald Trump.
Right.
No one else.
And I want to get your opinion on this, Will, because it's been bothering me all day.
Mm-hmm.
Where he puts out a video, or excuse me, he puts out a tweet that says, "Open up the strait, you crazy bastards." Right? Like he's pissed. Open the strait up. And then he closes the strait. What the hell is his agenda? What is he trying to accomplish?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's basically like a monkey throwing stuff against the wall.
And then you got MAGA saying he's the greatest businessman in the world because now there's 160 ships coming over here to get our oil. So like him or not, he's the greatest businessman in the world. He closed the strait down. Now they got to buy the oil from us.
They don't buy the oil from us. They buy oil from the refineries, okay, who bought the raw crude from West Texas.
Right.
All right. Also, as Mr. Globo said, we are at the capacity of our export now. Those ships coming are going to wait months before they get loaded.
Well, they said they got one ship
there waiting months.
They said they got one ship that can carry over 2,000 barrels or something like that. They said it's one of the biggest tankers out there heading this way.
Whoopee. Where's it going to go? To the international market. It's not, it doesn't come to us. These are why this is the ignorance that even in the days, you're old enough, I remember the oil embargo. Mm-hmm. And I remember everyone was talking, well, we can be independent in oil. That no, it's an international fucking market. It's set up as an international market. And where we benefit is that oil is sold in dollars. That's what helps the American currency. There's no other monetary system but the dollar the oil is sold in. Okay? It doesn't help us, and as curious ones I've seen here, it helps the corporations. They're already selling it now onto the market. And that's the thing. These people don't get it.
That's my whole point. They always turn his fuck ups, Will, into something that he's doing so great.
Because they're ignorant of the world. Look, years ago, this is how fucked up things are. Okay. I remember reading a story as an old science fiction story written by an author called C.M. Cornbluth. I think it was a non-diplom of someone. And it's called The Marching Morons. Okay. And it describes a society where the average IQ is like maybe less than 100. And the craziness of a country run like that. And the only few people with higher IQs are running it. And the story's kind of weird to the extent of fascism and all that. But I read the story and then I see these guys and they just are dumb or just ignorant or they just don't care. And it's like, I hear their logic and it doesn't fit. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, the worst thing that brought it all to the head with the Artemis launch around the moon. Have you seen any of those flat earther videos? My Lord. God almighty, guys. Really? I mean, they do it with the whole chest. I mean, they had one lady talking about there is no Antarctica. There's just a wall of ice around the flat Earth. Oh, what? You've
Sure.
been watching Game of Thrones? What the fuck? I mean, come
Sure.
on.
Take a trip.
But we laugh at that, but that's basically MAGA. In other ways, history, economics, they don't get it.
No, they don't
And
get
then
it.
you
They're
have to
cheering that he's bringing these ships in to make these oil corporations richer than they already are.
right.
And that's a great thing
That's
for
not
them.
benefit us. Gas is still going to go up because the price of oil per barrel will remain the same.
Yep.
It's not coming back to us, you dumbasses. You're just ridiculous people.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for, the ships to get here. And then I want to see what their talking point is going to be once they get here.
Yeah, I mean, again, Mr. Global, who's probably the best one, he goes, they're just going to sit because they can't go anywhere else, so they'll sit. And again, we are the capacity of export. So they're going to get sit, and then they go. Then the oil goes away, but it's not going to be like going right to your local Shell station, guys.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. It never has worked like that. Okay.
They'll push the
And until you
goalpost
have
again.
alternate,
Yeah, they'll just push
Go
the
ahead,
goalpost again, Will. That's all.
and since you don't have other energy sources, no renewable energies, no idea of hydrogen energy, no idea of maybe even fusion later on, so electricity gets cheap. No, you have this based on oil. And as long as this world is based on oil, to use a term from Dune, the spice must flow. Because if it doesn't, we're all screwed.
Yep.
And what's going to happen when they don't have enough money, for enough fertilizer? They're already talking about famines in Africa, so they can't get fertilizer. Fertilizer costs here in the United States. What's going to happen? It's going to catch up with us, especially when diesel is $8 a fucking gallon.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
And that's the thing. It's that we're at the mercy of so many incompetent people who believe that they can talk their way out of it. But I'll tell you one thing, they ain't talking their way out of this shit. Not this time.
No, because you can actually feel it.
Right. Yeah, it's just, what the hell is next? And that's the thing. I don't know what's next until we get to a point where we can remove these assholes. We're in for a ride.
Yeah, we are.
And that's what I'm afraid of, because we can't do anything other than what we're starting to see with some people acting out. Because that's one thing that they should be afraid of. Okay? It's not the majority of people. A good, strong minority of these people who have nothing to lose, they're going to strike out, especially when you get an idea.
Yeah.
Because they got nothing to lose. And now what are they going to do? Because eventually this will get the eye of Trump. If this burning and all these things happen, this will get the eye of him, and he's going to make it worse. Watch. He's going to do something with his clown FBI or his clown DOJ, and they're going to do something, and it's going to make it worse. And people are going to react.
Well, let's just hope that those 2 big bags of DoorDash doesn't think.
Oh, God, no. That's so sad. And it's so sad, the circumstance why she was there. I hope they paid her. I really do hope they said. And curious one, much of Trump policies one-handed to the Dems are back in control. Yeah, I saw that, especially with the Medicare, Medicaid. I'm hoping we can run that off at the pass and do something. Well, we'll see. And I hope not, because then people will be stupid again to see that. But we'll have to figure it out. It's still got to be better than what could happen, especially if you get a hold of this year's budget and they just go. I don't know how much more war they can have. What's he going to do next? T, what's his next move in Iran? What's he got left?
Well, his next move, if I were him, I would just bow out gracefully, put my tail between my legs, and get up out of there.
Okay, that's being practical. Think chaotic. What does he do now? and Pete Hesketh, who loves killing things.
Yeah, he's going to drop something somewhere. Um, you know what I mean, to keep his name back in the news. Um,
I mean,
when
you
he's
don't think he's going to go all? You don't think he's
no,
going to
he's
go
not
like?
going to go scorched earth, but he's going to drop something somewhere because he said the only reason why they're still living is to negotiate, right? So at any moment he could do something stupid.
Jeez.
And maybe this whole
I mean,
DoorDash thing was a distraction to get us talking about DoorDash, so that and the grandma. So when he's dropping stuff, he can use that because that's what he's saying now. This is what America wants. He even said that the people of Iran is asking him to continue with the bees
no,
because
they're not.
they're so used to hearing them. And now that they're not hearing them, they don't feel right. So please continue to be us. That is the most ignorant thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
I just, yeah. And that's the thing. The hardest thing I think for everybody is that right now, because Congress is full of cowards, no one does anything. No one does anything.
No.
The Republicans are, and I don't know if the House is in session because we still have a DHS shutdown. You still have TSA that kind of got paid. Still got the Coast Guard that hasn't been paid. It's just crazy. And Congress doesn't do anything. It just sits there. I'll guarantee you they'll work a couple of days and then they'll take the weekend off again.
Oh, guaranteed.
I mean, because Mark Johnson doesn't want to deal with it. He does not want to deal with this.
Well, you mean like when they were getting
care.
ready to bring the war powers vote to the floor and the Republican quickly gavelled the meeting out and ran?
Yep. I mean, they can't. And now it's that's the thing. That was the design of our government, was that three sides would check each other and then it wouldn't be one side with so much power. But what they didn't count on is the party of the president being complicit and letting him be a pseudo king and do whatever he wants. So I don't know. That's the hardest thing for everyone. What we're going to do? We're going to hang on for dear life right now because he's incompetent and he'll do stupid shit and he'll blow up in his face. And eventually his own people are turning on him. And he's finding that out now. I don't think he could save himself from his own people. Because
they're giving him rope, Will. They're giving him rope and just waiting on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Jesus picture was enough rope for a lot of people. That was too much for some people.
Well,
and that's the thing. It's just too much.
You missed what he was trying to portray. He said he was not Jesus. He was a doctor for the Red Cross.
Right. Yeah, with glowing hands and sandals in a robe. I made the comment because I was like, having been stuffed all day. I mean, I watched The Pit, which is a great show. You haven't seen it on HBO. Great medical show. Set in Pittsburgh emergency room. And I'm thinking, if he walked in to that emergency room and started touching people to heal them, I cannot imagine, if you know, what Charge Nurse Dana would do to that guy. It's insane. That's insane. And you know what? He said the fake news made it more. No, dude. Your picture told us what you were.
The pictures told us.
The picture told it, and it's like, and here's the thing, he believes his own press. Because the evangelicals that live next to him, who have their office next to him, convince him that he's God. I really think Trump thinks he's holy.
Well, sir, his pastor, right? Pastor, I forget her name, the lady.
Yeah, Paula something.
Yeah, they're asking you, is the House in session? I don't think the House is in session.
I thought it was supposed to be in session. Their congressman around there somewhere.
Yeah, Ted Cruz was there today, and a couple of other ones were there. They were asking him questions about getting Paula White. Yep, that's her. They were asking him questions about getting the rest of the people paid. And he was saying that it shouldn't be a problem with it, blah, blah, blah. And there was a couple other ones I saw
Right.
through the hallways. I don't know why they're
Yeah, I
there,
saw.
but I've seen them in there.
I mean, they were talking to Tom Tillis, who kind of blew off the whole Jesus picture. They talked to another person about another congressman about Trump's remarks about civilization ending. Said, yeah, he was just doing a negotiation tactic. I mean, they're
Right.
going to make excuses for this man. They're going to do because they fear him. I mean, again, the Republicans talking to Democrats behind closed doors. They fear him. They know he's crazy, but they fear him. They fear him and his base still.
Well, let me ask
And
you
a
this.
lot of them still. Go ahead. Sorry.
If he was just being a doctor as he claimed that he was being, why would he take the
Uh huh.
photo down? I mean, why not just leave it up there and be Dr. Trump?
Oh, the staff took it down. Apparently, he didn't. The staff did. The White House staff finally got it. They took it out. Probably Susie Wiles did. Told someone to take it out of there
She's the
because he
only
admits
one
to
that's
putting.
got some sense.
Yeah, and he admits he put it up there. You can't say, well, one of my staffers said, no, you can't throw anyone
Yeah.
under the bus on this one. He admitted it, and it's like, wow. And we don't know, and that's how we can't business done because he doesn't care. And he's going to be talking about the ballroom and the arch soon. I mean, son of a bitch is going to build this stupid arch in front of Arlington. In front of Arlington. What the hell? I mean, he's lost it. And I think, some guy made a comment about it was a vet. It's Arlington. And I said, hey, he considers Arlington open real estate.
Well, I got
He
bad
wants
news
to
for
build
you,
something.
Will. He started talking about his ballroom today with the bulletproof windows because when you are president, you have to be protected.
So do you think he's going to build a bunker and then when shit goes down, he's going to run down into it and we're going to have to basically bunker bust him out?
Well, right now he's building shit because they shut it down. So, and hopefully by November we
Yeah.
can get his ass out of there. We ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping, some people are speculating now with this Jesus poster that his dementia and his health is reaching critical mass.
Yeah.
And they don't know how much longer he has. And we've been hearing that story, but they say it seems to be getting worse. And here's the thing: what really we have to be concerned about, not really concerned about, is that I know JD Vance is in the background making deals, but a lot of people are saying that Trump is so bad, everything he's doing right now is so scorched earth that if Vance becomes president, it's just a worthless cause for him. He's going to be basically in charge of basically a hauled out husk of conservatism and MAGA.
Yeah,
It's all
he would
burned
be in
out.
charge of getting it halfway back together for us, and then we can finish cleaning it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's going to separate
yeah, and
himself.
but yeah, no one, come on, no one listens to him. We all know he's a chameleon. We all know he does his own thing, that he's only looking out for himself. And that's the thing, you cannot be, politicians have a certain level of trust if they're really good. Again, someone had a video of President Obama doing a speech when he was president, and everyone was watching the video. All the comments were, "Oh, that's what a president sounds like." I forgot. Yeah, we forgot.
You
I
know,
mean,
I
it's just
I sometimes go back and watch his speeches just to feel normal again. You know what I mean?
yeah. And even Joe Biden with his stutter still sounded like a president.
Hell, George
Still had
George
respect.
W.
Yes.
That little
Yeah,
hill
even the
jack.
dummy. It's just like, oh my God. And that's the thing. When he speaks, I mean, every time he speaks, and like when they do video or news and he talks, I'm like, I feel so pain. It's like ground glass pushed into my spine now.
It's painful.
It's painful because It's all dumb and it's repeated stuff. And like whenever he does these Truth Social posts, it's like he talks. And it's all nonsense. And he has no plan for the economy. He has no plan for economy, which he broke with tariffs. He has no plan for health care, other than I'm going to get rid of Obamacare and you guys are fucked. Good luck. He has no plan for the war other than I'm going to steal money from every fucking entitlement program, including Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid, to pay for a war because we have other places to conquer, he said. And so we all sit here and going, the majority of us aren't down with this shit. They aren't.
Did you hear the question? I didn't hear what the reporter asked him, but I think she had asked him something about a judge throwing away a subpoena or something to that effect. And Trump said, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that, because that just proves that the 2020 election was rigged and they cheated. And he went on for about 10 minutes. And I'm like, holy shit, let it go, dude. You're president now.
He can't. No, he can't. So it's coming up on 10 my time, and I have to get to sleep so I can catch up on not being sick. I want to thank you, T, for being here, but it's like everyone, I mean, we'd had to address a lot of shit today. Understand, right now, it's literally hanging on for dear life. Okay, we're just hanging in there. Shit's flying. For him, everything's flying left to right. It's an extinction burst of MAGA and him, and we're in for the ride. The ride. We just got to hang in there, because once it stops running, then we're going to be up and going after him. And also, to all your billionaires and millionaires, take what's going on with the fires as a warning. Okay? People are reaching their point, and they don't care how much money you have, because they know you're just flesh and blood like the rest of us. They know. And they don't care anymore. Those things aren't going up in flames because they want to be arsonists. They're going up in flames to make a point, as a warning. So keep pushing it and see what happens. Not advocating, not saying it's the right thing, but when you give people nothing to lose, then people say violence isn't the answer, but they forget the back part of that saying. Violence isn't the answer till it becomes the only answer. Keep that in mind, rich folk. Just keep it in mind. All right, T. If you guys are looking for me, I'm here on TikTok, RJ127, or whatever here, 127 TikTok. Biter38 US and Substack. I have a paid subscription. If you subscribe, great. That would help me out. And then TikTok, and then on YouTube, Biter38 US. What about you, T? Where can they find your stuff?
Basically, right here. I'm on mostly all the platforms under Trucker T, but this is where I do most of my damage.
If you have any Tom, if you want to send me a text or have a question, 470-236-2403. And I got an email at kumquat6@outlook.com. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you for listening, guys. I'm glad. Hopefully, we're going to get through the spring and get into the summer. Take a deep breath and hang on for the ride. But I'll tell you one thing. It's fun to watch this fall apart.
Yes, it is.
Because the tears are fun. The tears are fun. All right, guys. Have a good night. Be safe, T. Y'all same. Bye-bye.